What's up, guys? Welcome back to Mike Yourself. And this week we're going to continue doing video on the head unit from Cerwin Vega. This one, like I had mentioned in my prior video, also covers the Diamond audio head unit. So if you have either one of these, the navigation, all of this stuff applies just the same. There may be some similarities to some of the other head units that are out there because they all use the iData-Link Mastro technology. It's just basically how it's integrated. So sometimes it's an external unit versus Cerwin Vega and Diamond Auto have it internal to the head unit, so one less part to have to worry about. Anyhow, let's take a look at how you use or how you navigate through the head unit, and we're going to also take a look at some of the features, right? The one thing we're not going to cover in this video is the equalizer. We're going to cover that in a separate thing because going over to DSP has a lot of content. There's a lot of moving pieces to it, and I want to make sure we spend adequate amount of time covering each one for you. Okay guys, so as soon as you turn your bike on, here's the home page that you end up landing on. If you're connected to your phone and you're using Android Auto or CarPlay, it'll revert itself to there as soon as it makes that connection with your phone. But for now, what we're going to do is just kind of cover the manipulation of the screens, like going back and forth or whatever, the settings, and then yeah, I think that'll kind of be it for this video here. So super simple. The left side is pretty intuitive. Now this only applies if you did not change the settings when you did your Mastro setup, because if you remember, there was that page there that allowed you to change what functions these buttons did, whatever. So of course on your left side you got your home, your up, down, volume, and then your skip tracks, right? And so that's exactly what it does. You go up, you get volume, you go down, no volume. If you go right, you'll advance your thing. If you go left, you know, same thing. And then if you're on another page and you click the home, then it would just navigate you home. Let's see if I can change the page there, and there you go, right? So swap me right back. Anyhow, on the right side, I have this push talking button, but it doesn't work because my bike didn't come with that feature. I've got some aftermarket hand control buttons or whatever, the LED lit up ones. So it's kind of it's a dummy button for me. But I think you can also set that up as well within the Mastro system. So if you want additional features, I might give it a try myself to see if I can make this thing do other stuff. Anyhow, then you have your right hand control. Now this is one I know folks are waiting on for a little bit, but it works really good. So with this one here, this is the one that allows you to kind of navigate through your tiles, right? Now I will tell you that depending on the page you select, if there are I should say, if it's kind of like a configuring type thing or whatever, the navigation on it is more complex, or I don't know if it has to do with the complexity around it or if it's because of a safety thing, but it won't let you navigate through your hand control. You actually have to touch the screen, is what I found. So like if we go into the DSP and we select it, if I try to go up or down, left or right, it doesn't move that screen around. There's a lot to this, right? And I'll cover that in my DSP video, but that makes sense. But if you want to get back to your home, you can. To show that it does work though, so when you scroll to the right with your hand control, it kind of reads the line. It goes like left to right and then down until it completes the page, and then it'll skip to the next page. To kind of beat that to the punch, what I do is I go to the right, drop it down one, hit the right button again, and that takes me to the new page. So that way you don't have to scroll through them. So once you're there, then you can go to Android Auto, select that. Now I'm just showing you the bottom because I'm not trying to dox myself with my my map here, but you can see I'm able to manipulate that stuff, select my music, so Spotify. If I want to go down, and if I want to do Amazon Music, you can select Amazon Music. So when you're writing and you want to change your music, you can absolutely do that. Now the one thing that was tricky for me, that it took me a minute to learn, was how to get yourself to the home screen from Android Auto. I don't know if it does this the same way for CarPlay because I'm not an Apple guy, so hopefully it works for you guys too. But what I noticed is if you hit your home button, it doesn't take you home, right? Because it actually, in Android Auto, you have a different home. You have this home button, right? There's all kinds of home in here, so it doesn't really know exactly which home you're asking for. If you want to get to the home of the head unit, the way I found easiest to do it, other than you can touch your screen, but if you're riding, you don't want to take your hand off your handlebars, is hit your vehicle information button. So if you hit that, that takes you to your vehicle info page, and all you have to do is hit it one more time, and that takes you right back to your screen there. So that's really, really nice and helpful, because what you might want to do is, say you want to have your gauges page up while you ride. You're going to jump into your Android Auto screen, set up your music. Once you're done with that, double tap, get you back to this screen. Then you can navigate over to your gauges page, select it, and bam, there you go. All right, so we've talked about how to kind of maneuver through things. Now it's really just about what options you have in your configuration. If you're playing video on it, you got that option here within your cog wheel here. You have, like, do you want sounds when you touch the buttons, right? I have my volume all the way down actually, so let's see if we can hear something. Yeah, I might not have it loud enough. I don't know. I don't care. I don't like the sounds, so I leave that off. You got a couple other options, illumination, whatever, right? So I recommend you scroll through, take a look at the things that they have available. If you need to adjust your media volume versus, say, the radio volume, maybe your media volume is weaker, then you can do that. Same thing with your navigation. I don't use my phone through my radio because I just don't want to be yelling on the road at a microphone. So I have my Bluetooth in my helmet. You can go ahead and adjust your clock. You got your illumination. So this allows you to change out the colors of the buttons here on the left and the right in the screen. So I made mine match my Harley orange there, but if you wanted blue, you can make them blue. You want them white, you can make them white. White's kind of like a purplish, or there's like a little bit of tint. It's not like clearly white. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Anyhow, so you can do that. Blue's pretty cool. Purple, yellow, whatever. And then if you want to make your custom color because you're that much of an artist, you can actually do that using the red, green, and blue setup there. As part of the setup process, you are probably already familiar with this page, and this is where you're doing your setup stuff. And then you have your information page here. Now, so that's basically like settings 1. There are settings for a couple other places like your Bluetooth. So where you're going to set up your phone, you kind of work through your process there if you wanted to add a phone. And then you also have your vehicle settings. Oops. So in your vehicle setup, you can access the Mastro features. So this goes over your Mastro module, your gauges, your alerts, your maintenance, however you want to set it up. Say you wanted to be reminded of your oil changes, you can set it to on, set when you want it due, reset it once you do your oil change, and then it tells you how long it's been since you did your oil change, right? Within the Mastro module, then you can get into some of these other items. I kind of explored this. I didn't really see anything that stood out to me that I was like, oh, that's cool. You may find something different. Totally up to you. Within your vehicle settings, it's really about units, whether or not you're doing English or metric. So that's really about it when it comes to kind of your navigation and the settings of the Mastro, or of the head unit. You do have an additional setup or configuration that needs to be done with the DSP, but that'll be done in the DSP video. All right, guys, I hope that video brought you some value. Again, it's just kind of like, how do you do this, right? Like the double tap on the vehicle information button. I think I just found that on accident, right? So if I can share that information with you all, I hope you get to benefit from it. Again, you know, if you've been watching, you know I did a video on how to do the gauges, and there's another video on how to manipulate the DSP. I mentioned that a couple times in this one. Anyhow, really just trying to figure out, or not figure out, but show you all how to use this head unit. It's an amazing piece of audio equipment for your bike. The sound is just phenomenal. Cerwin Vega and Diamond Audio, they got it right. It's brand new on the market, so check them out. Go to cerwinvega.com. If you make your purchase through there, use promo code MikeItYourself. I don't get anything out of that, but you get 10%. So enjoy the discount, and hopefully you get to share the same benefits of an amazing system like I am right now. So until my next video post, I hope to see you in the wind.